Hey there, YouTubers. All right, so we're going to take this Gateway computer and we're going to take the back plate off, basically. Bottom cover, whatever you want to refer to it as. So we will get an idea of the upgradability of this thing as far as RAM goes. Get a look at the solid state drive that's in here. Most likely it is a SATA drive. Now I'm going to take all these screws out, and there is a tool they make that will help you pop this open. I don't have one of those. We're going to use our fingers and hope we can get it open. Of course, that helps if some of these screws seem to work okay with the screwdriver. Some of them are not. Might have to switch over. So I have this awesome screwdriver, or awesome Phillips head. It's not this one, but I cannot find it. It doesn't seem to matter what Phillips headed screw I use it on, it always seems to work. But yeah, we'll we can pop that off. So the last gateway that I did this with, which is the non-iris iGPU, was an i3. It did not have the ability to use NVMe, and it didn't have the ability to upgrade the RAM. I'll be really curious if this does. I have another laptop sitting around. It's got DDR4 RAM in it. Now it'd be nice to use that RAM in this, but the one thing that I did notice about this RAM is it is 3200 megahertz. So if we can upgrade it, we'll need to buy some. They put a lot of screws in these. So if you guys have this laptop, curious what you think of it as far as gaming goes. I was disappointed myself with the resolution I could run in Fortnite to get it, adequate, we'll say, FPS. Of course, I'm used to big old desktop with an awesome i7, i9 in it, and an RTX graphics card. Now we do have multiple laptops here. Basically, the type of laptop that doesn't have the Iris integrated graphics. It's an i3. This is an i5 with the Iris graphics. Then we have another laptop. I think it's a 5800U, so AMD 5800U. But that has a GTX 1660 Ti in it. Plus it has Ryzen graphics too. So pretty much got the best of everything in it. So you just want to make sure you have unpopped all of them. And this one should be able to stay. So I'm going to basically try and get my fingernails up under here, pop this open. And like I said, there are other tools that you can use to do this with. that are probably more sensible than this. And of course I'm doing it off camera. But I'm going to pause this till I pop it open. So basically, there's that little seam here that we're trying to get into, okay? Alright, so one side doesn't work, try the other side. And you can hear all that snapping, pop, pop, pop. Just don't be in a big hurry. Just in case you, for whatever reason, didn't undo a screw. And there we go. Alright, so once again, this laptop is not upgradable as far as the RAM goes. You can see the RAM on the motherboard. Almost the same battery as the other one has. And it's looks like a Western Digital 500 gigabyte SATA. Alright, so just like the other laptop, folks, there is no chance that you're going to be able to use NVMe in these slots. I will later verify that, especially in this slot. But yeah, this is not upgradable as far as RAM or going to a faster type M.NVMe. And obviously, easy enough to put a big fat old SATA storage drive in there, which I will eventually do. I do like this laptop. It's a little on the smaller side. I'm used to 15.6. For, you know, gaming, I would prefer 17-inch. But other than that, folks, pretty decent little laptop. So we're going to put the lid back on it. Nothing really to upgrade. I think I'll put a SATA drive in here while we're here. Let me find it. Alright, so I found this, this is just a 32 gig SSD. Now, I have another one that's a bit bigger, but when I really go to upgrade this, I'm just going to put a terabyte in here, so for demonstration purposes. Alright, so label side up, folks, goes in here pretty much at an angle. If we can find the right spot. There it is. So if you can see where that went in, pretty much towards the top there is a slot for that to fit in. And then easier with a magnetic Phillips head to put this back in. So we have gained a little bit of storage. Now this is, you know, honestly, if you buy this, it's worth, oops, put that on backwards, putting that extra drive in there, because guess what? You could back up your important files onto that drive, right? And that's, in my opinion, a smart thing to do. Because you don't want to lose your important files, right? I mean, any day your solid state drive could go bad, but if you have it backed up on the other drive, at least you have it. Maybe you could email it to yourself as well. Now when you're doing this, you might want to remember where you pulled the screws out of. Yours truly is just putting them back in. But like I said, we've got at least one upgrade done on this thing. Disappointing, you know, a lot of aspects to buy what, you know, is a pretty decent little laptop, and you can't make it a little bit better. Would that faster drive really matter for gaming? No. Will it boot up faster? Yes. Will you be able to copy and paste large files faster? potentially between these drives or to a USB. Probably not going to be as big a deal there, right? Because the USB is going to limit the speed, but there are other things. RAM, it's probably, for most people, 16 gigs is probably the perfect amount. If you need more than that, you're doing something, pretty awesome. Maybe it's CAD, maybe it's animation software. I've never bothered to check when I was editing, doing 4K editing, if more RAM matters. CPU matters. Graphics card can definitely matter. The other settings you do to it. If you overclock the CPU, if you adjust power limits, all that stuff can improve. Alright, so we're almost done. And this took 11 minutes and 30 seconds, basically to show you guys that we can't upgrade this. How to take screws out, how to put them back in. And so that drive, for most of you, it should get automatically recognized. You may have to format it. If you put a drive in there with a second operating system, I don't believe this laptop's going to allow it to work. I tried previously to do that, and so we didn't have any luck. That thing's really hard to get open. Okay. So we'll start this up. Alright, so we're starting this up. And I don't have the thumb sensor on this one. Alright folks, so we have 3 drives in here now. There's a micro SD in here, and then the drive that I just added. So I don't know what's on there. We'll have to figure that out later, but I am going to probably replace the micro SD with a bigger drive and just keep that there. And I think I've got a 256 lying around. I've got 128 gig micro SD, so that could be a decent upgrade for just, backing up files, putting gaming files on it, whatever. But thanks for sharing the video, folks. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.